song is called Neon Drive.
Neon Drive. It's very, it's a little jazzy, sort of mellow kind of groove. Welcome to the lounge. Come on in, have a drink, stay
Come,
alive.
have a beverage. Introvert.
That's
3
right.
cheers to you, introvert. Welcome to the About Beverages tasting lounge.
Oh yeah, here we go.
This is not how we normally talk on Thursday nights.
Jazzy.
I swear to God, if you are new to the channel, this is not how we normally are. How's everybody doing? It is Thursday night. It is 4:30-ish Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. We are here to do some beverage tasting, hang out with all of you, and just talk about what's been going on the last week, not only in the beverage world, but in our own lives, in your lives, and just everything. It's just kind of it's like if we all just kind of got together and like decided to just hang out. Hey, what are you doing right now? You want to go have a drink? Yeah, that's what this podcast is like. And if you're new here, I'm Andrew.
I'm Keith.
And we're About Beverages. So that's what we do. Sushi. Oh my God. And cookies. That's true. Oh my God. So many people are on the crumble cookie train.
Oh, well, of course. Are you actually doing that for your birthday party next week?
I'm tempted to do it. I haven't fully decided.
I'll pay for my own.
I'll say just because
I
it's
can kick
pricey.
in. It's expensive.
Well, because I was going to do the math on how many people, and Sushi, it is wonderful to see you. I was going to do the math on how many people will be coming over, figuring a cookie a piece, to be fair.
Right.
And then going through and figuring that all that out. And it was like, the caramel popcorn one was really good. Yeah, that was probably my favorite one from this week. And then seeing, because like I think 12 is like $40-ish, something like that. Testing. Check one. Sibilance.
Oh,
that is an old school right there.
So that is probably my friend from work.
Sibilance.
I'm glad
good.
you found the way. Well, yeah, because you guys, first time chat. There you go.
Yeah.
All right,
See,
so.
I was like, oh God, who's this person?
No.
What are they claiming? They can't hear us. What's going on? It's fine.
Yeah, because I've talked about how you say that, and he loves. Yeah, you guys. Yeah,
sibilance.
A bond might be forming right now. It's in the embryonic stages here.
Embryonic stages.
Yes.
But
check
yeah, I
one,
think it's like $40-ish for 12.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, oh, I'll do the math, because we usually wind up getting like some sort of ice cream cake or a cake and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, we're always, when you're dollaring things out, it's always like around $30 for the dessert portion of the show. So it wasn't like too far out, but if all of a sudden,
oh yeah, because like when we do the ice cream cake,
well, the ice cream,
the one sheet's like 30 itself, and then we usually get the other little one just in case. So.
How did you get there?
How did we get there? To the tasting room?
We took a motorcycle to the tasting room. Oh my God, that's back in the day. Did we just become best friends? I'm feeling it's kind of close. I'm already feeling a little bit of love right here. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, thank you. New first-time viewer. Appreciate you coming in.
First-time viewer.
But yeah, like it's because when we used to do like the Baskin Robbins ice cream cake sometimes, and that was always like, we did something different last year. Anyway, it's always usually around that, but yeah, we'll have to see how many people are actually
I'll pay for seconds even, so.
If you want a second one, yeah,
so good.
that you would definitely have to put in for. Did you get any of the new ones this week? We can
talk
about
I haven't
cookies as well as the beverages.
No,
and things
the only
like
time we had it was the New Year's Eve work festivities, and like I said, I could have layered a second one right on top of there and just gone right to town.
Wow. Cookies on Keith. Well, that sounds like something
that's for later. That's on
the OnlyFans. That is a different subscription. If you guys want to get in on that, ground floor right there. It'll just be like $5 to $10. I haven't decided what the premium subscription is, but yeah, Cookies on Keith.
That's when we go blue.
That's right. That's right. There'll be one for each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a Hershey's Kiss? It is not.
It's not.
It is not.
It's Cookies on Keith.
It is my nipple. Rocky Road was the Rocky Road when we went there. I wasn't super interested in that one, and then it was also sold out. So
that's fortunate then.
Yeah,
it works out well that way.
I probably
one I'm not interested in, and two it's not.
I would have gotten one anyway, just because we'd been getting like 6, and then it's like I'd usually been getting 2 apiece, and I was like, oh okay, let me try the new one, and I would have tried that one because they switch out like 4 of them. So this week the new ones where they had Funfetti, which is basically like a sugar cookie with like little sprinkles and stuff inside, which my wife really liked that one. And then it was a caramel popcorn. So it was basically like a kind of a doughy sugar cookie, and then it had a little bit of a caramel icing on top, and then actual like caramel sauce, and then like 4 pieces of popcorn.
That sounds good.
It was that was probably my favorite. So the one I thought that was going to be really good that I was a little disappointed in, and Crumble, if you're watching, it's not you, it's me. It was a Reese's peanut butter cup cookie. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be my favorite thing. So it was like a peanut butter cookie, and then on top of that was literally probably like a 1/2 inch layer of, it felt like just peanut butter. And then there was a couple little Reese's Pieces on the top.
Oh, okay.
Or Reese's peanut butter cups on the top. For me, it could have been that, but it needed like a dark chocolate ganache, like drizzle. It needed the more of the chocolate component was very much missing. The first night when it was kind of warm, it was good because it was kind of gooey, but it was still a lot of peanut butter. And then the next night, that portion got kind of more of like crispity. Yes, it needed more chocolate.
I eat a lot of peanut butter anyway.
It needed to be, yeah, there you go.
I can bring my own peanut butter. I can supply that.
I don't have chocolate on me. I have peanut butter.
Keep it right here.
Keep it right here. Is that probably what you brought over with you when you did your grocery shopping?
Peanut butter? Actually, there's almond butter in that bag.
Little son of a bitch. There we go.
I like to rotate between my nut butters. Yes.
Also on the OnlyFans. Answer is always more chocolate. That is 100% correct. That is 100% correct. But yeah, so it should have been like a chocolate chip cookie with big chocolate chips and then maybe that peanut butter stuff on top. I don't know. Like I said, that one just missed a little bit. And then there was one that was literally a rocky road where it was a chocolate cookie. I think it was a dark chocolate cookie. I think it had marshmallow inside of it somehow, like fluff inside of it or right on top. And then there was like some whatever would be in rocker, like peanuts or something. And so they kind of basically recreated that in a cookie. And then I think they had regular marshmallow in the middle. Okay, there you go. Marshmallow in the middle. And I can go either way. Like I said, if it's the right amount of marshmallow, that's fine. Like I said, but I can go either way. Like it's not going to be. There's a little bit left in here. I don't know what. Wait and see. If
we were just talking
more.
So much, I had to have a little sip.
We were. So this is the beverage we're having right now. We're not podcasting on this one. The one we start out with is always just kind of like, it's basically our starter. We're just
warming up.
Hanging out, opening it up.
Right.
Sorry to hijack. No.
Oh, yeah,
you may talk about coming here, talk about cookies anytime. Hijack all you want. That's what this is about. Like if you sat down at a table with some of your friends, you'd like literally walk up like, oh my God, I just had the most amazing cookie. That's exactly what happened there.
There's a show.
And that's fine. There's a show.
There's a show.
It's a show about nothing. It's a podcast about nothing.
Except beverages.
Except
and then
beverages.
after that,
yeah,
it's a little bit
it's kind
nebulous, but after that, it's all right.
So this is from Grand Canyon Brewery, which actually we have podcasted on a beer of theirs a long time ago.
Boy, it was the
what was it?
It was in a bottle. Was it a bomber?
Yeah.
Did we do the one with the flavor thing in it?
I believe we did.
The little flavor rocket or whatever
they called it. Called their flavor injector. They had this. They had this
coffee beans, I think.
Yes, it was because it was a coffee stout, and then their thing was that they actually put whole beans in there that then kept infusing. And we were like, oh, that sounds neat. And I was like, well, what do they do? So then when we opened it up and drank it, we're like, there's something rattling in here. I think we eventually broke the bottle open to see what it was. And it was literally this plastic tube about like that long.
To hold the bean.
To hold like and literally 5 beans, 4 beans. Something like, I'm going to look up, see if I can find it.
Was that a podcast or did we do that at Jay's house? For some reason I'm recalling like we dug into that.
I thought let me look. I thought we had done something. I'm going to check in the archives at our website AboutBeverages.com. Which will hopefully be getting us an update soon enough, but at this moment,
refresh.
It's still completely fine.
Maybe we haven't. Oh no, okay. Wow, I wonder if that's.
I don't think it's either of these.
Audio only.
2011.
That could be audio only.
Maybe. Grand Canyon Brewing Horseshoe Blend Pale Ale and Black Iron IPA. So it was neither of those. So I think it was.
That was at Jay's house when we were there for brewing one time. I wanted to see what that was, and I remember you like digging into that thing.
Yeah,
I'm opening this.
I can't remember if we have. Maybe we didn't have to break the bottle, but it was okay. I thought we had actually done a podcast. That's unfortunate because that would have been very funny. I don't remember us liking it that much. Like I remember us thinking it was okay.
Yeah.
And
I've had
hey, look, there's tasting notes on this one.
Back in the day,
check out the tasting notes.
The day tasting notes.
Let's see if this one. Sometimes there's a couple that don't show up. There we go.
Wait, you gave me to one.
Okay, a Horseshoe Blend Pale Ale. Color is cloudy yellow orange with a very foamy head. On the nose, there are herb and spice notes. On the palate, it starts out clean and crisp and finishes with mild hops, accented by a mineral note.
That actually sounds kind of good.
That's it. Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. And then the Black Iron IPA. The color is a yellow copper blend and is clear. Black Iron IPA. I was thinking Black IPA. That's my fault. Much like herbal aromas, mulch-like herbal aromas are present with a slight hop note at the end, almost like the root of the hop
I remember
plant.
the black pepper.
The taste is malty with muted hop notes and a black pepper kicked at the end. Wow, spoilers, Keith. Hadn't gotten there yet. This beer was in a can. That was back when we actually did podcasts
Our
about
tastes were different then. And
you can find a good beer in a can.
Beers were mostly it was in bottles and Oh, can. Oh,
yeah,
no,
I know.
why
And
they
now
do
it's
it?
like we see a bottle. I'm like, a bottle, really?
Can I get that in a
Unless it
can?
is like a barrel aged bomber of some sort, you're kind of like, that should be in a can. This makes more sense. Although the aluminum shortages of 2020 and beyond also not great.
I get a little fruit in there. But
Yeah,
once again, my
actually-
nose is still. I think I'm making more progress still. Still a little bit.
Oh yeah, you should mention at the top of the show. You never know.
I don't have to. And
Okay.
think you want to hear?
I don't know what do people. I mean, you don't have to go through the whole thing,
No.
but you're
still a
recovering.
little-
You're
yes.
recovering very well with everything else. It was very
Oh, yeah.
mild, but a little bit of COVID did take some of your
Did
sense of
take
taste
the
and smell.
Yeah, the sense
But
of
all
taste
that
is
stuff-
actually pretty decently back. I wouldn't say
Oh, I'm
100%.
excited for that then.
But well,
Aha.
okay.
I've
At
held
least
your
for
feet-
food.
It may not be
At
for
least
beverage.
for food. It may not be for beverage, but
So the aroma in here, actually, I don't know. I have their website up. Oh, you know what? I can even hit the button. Sorry.
so it's
I'm
actually prickly
way
pear
behind. There you go. Those are all the things we're going to be having tonight. There's the link. You can go check out their website right now. Prickly pear. It's a prickly pear wheat beer.
Yep.
Enhanced with subtle sweetness, all natural prickly pear flavor. Pear flavor. Interesting. Native to our beloved home state, the prickly pear. I wonder what the flavor is. See what the flavor is exactly? It says all natural. Okay. So that was honestly what I was going to say. The aroma in here actually kind of smells like the plant. There smells like some of the I don't know, it sounds dumb. Like I said, the farm, like there's that natural like plant smell of like there's some dirt, there's some, there's some soil, there's some real growing going on here. It's not just that, I walk into a candle store and say, oh, that's prickly pear.
It's prickly pear.
It's all the other stuff that you would normally get out of an actual plant.
the pulp.
Yeah. And then that's about it. It's actually a little more green, maybe even a little hint of like green apple-ish. It's not an overly abundant smell, but it's a natural smell, which I like. So that is positive. You've already almost finished yours, so how is it?
I mean, it's good for what it is. From what I can get, I get a little bit of the fruit still. The beer itself is just, to me, it just is smooth and easy.
Okay. Like
but
Sunday morning?
It's easy like Sunday morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right
Want
on.
to get high? So high.
So high. I want to be free to do the things I know are right. Oh, no, wait. I want to be free. No, the things I do are right. No, the things I do are right. That's it. Or do the things I know are right. Either way. Works.
I think the flavor in here is accurate. It's just okay to me, though.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, there's a little bitterness in there, too, which I'm kind of surprised at a wheat beer. There is some sweet, but there's a little bitter at the end, which kind of makes me think again of the actual cactus itself. Like there's almost,
a little tightness on the back.
what's the actual like palm, the actual like on a prickly pear cactus, the actual
pad?
The pad. What is that called? That has a word.
Probably a prickly pear pad.
It's not a prickly pear. Pen, prickly pear, pen,
Pencil, pen.
Yeah, that's a Cheers reference.
Nice.
No, it's like
Cheers
called
reference.
what do they call it? Because they like that's like a dish where people they like
Cheers
steam them and there you go, perfect. That's like a dish where they steam those and they strip all that stuff off and they actually eat. They make salads and stuff. Out of those.
There are different prickly pear. Something.
It's a word for
meal-wise.
that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's called a pad. What's the pad of your finger called?
I love when you're
It's the finger pad. Stems.
and these vegetables are high in fiber. Thank you. Yep, that's it. Nopales.
Nopales.
Yeah.
I say yes.
Nopals.
You may say nopales. I say yes. You say
Sushi.
no.
Thank you very much. Yes, that is perfect. Yes, that is exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, nopal. So it's the cactus. So I don't know if that's specifically prickly pear, but that is what I was thinking of 100%. Yeah, they cut them in a slice. They make like salsas out of it. Like so that's like kind of like what you almost like would use as your greenery in there. Okay.
I mean, I don't like from what I once again my somewhat restricted tasting. I don't. It's not like it's not. It's not like too much, and it doesn't taste fake. I mean, to me, it's fine. It isn't my style of beer, which is why I picked this. Actually, I thought let's do something a little different just to open the show.
Right.
Because I'm very excited about the wine, and I'm also very intrigued and excited. The bourbon.
I am honestly excited about both of those too. Like I love, like I said, and honestly, this is a completely Keith's sponsored show tonight. Like I said, Keith has brought everything to the tasting table and everything.
Well, one of them was a Christmas gift, so I can't take complete credit for that. So
okay, so Dad is sponsoring a third of this.
Dad,
a third of the show,
sponsoring some of the show. That's right.
That works
Their
too.
Christmas gift generosity.
But yeah, so. I'm definitely excited to try that as well. I was enjoying this week. I went back to the Frey Ranch Distillers. I had a little bit of that rye this week.
Okay.
Well, it's just really good. Like that's just I'm interested to go look at some of the other things they have because I think they're working on releasing some new stuff. I would definitely try some other things from them.
And Frey, not Fry. We said Fry throughout the whole podcast.
We did, and we apologized through subtitles because that was the best we could do because I couldn't go in there and edit the audio for that one. I had no like ADR that I could go in and like, Keith, come back in and re-record you saying this 15 times.
Frey.
Yeah.
Frey.
And having the proper inflection.
Yeah.
Frey.
Frey. I'll just say it the same way the whole time. Frey. Yeah, do it that way.
Do it that way or Frey. Like there. And now we've got something from Frey Ranch Distillers. Like, it just doesn't even mesh up.
That might have been kind of funny, actually. A lot of work, though.
Because
I wonder how many times we said Fry.
I don't know. So. Hey, Chungus, how's it going? Good to see you. What's up, gents? It's good to see you. Good to see you this fine
Pear
evening.
Wheat Ale's what's up right now.
That's true. That is true.
What's
a prickly pear wheat
What's in the glass?
What's in the glass?
What's in the glass?
That actually should be the name of a segment or something like that. We have to work on that. What's in the glass?
What we used to do the early on in the we would do what you been drinking.
What you been drinking? Yeah.
We didn't get together. Well, or did we? No, we didn't get together weekly.
No.
We've had a lot of different patterns over the years. So.
We have. I think the last couple of years has been the best pattern overall.
Yeah.
I like the getting together for the, what used to be tiring, which was it was amazing because both our families got together. That was awesome. But us trying to podcast for like 6 or 8 weeks worth of content, doing like 7 podcasts, I tell you, 3rd or 4th podcast in of like knowing you still had about 3 more to do was rough.
It was rough. But we were willing to do it for our viewers, for our listeners.
There's just only so many times you can like do those like starters in the wall,
the
like
banter,
now, like right now, basically we do 2 podcasts, like maybe 3 tops, but usually just like 2. So it's easy to come up with that little beginning and kind of get that started. But yeah, when you've been sitting here staring at each other for 6 hours, and you're like, "So what you been having lately?"
Oh, shut up!
It's just like, just get to the drink. Which actually, I looked at, like, we did have a new podcast go up today. It's one we recorded last week. If you guys are interested in finding out for dry January, which people get into, either not having as much alcohol or not having any at all, which is, like I said, totally, fine if that's something you're into, or just for other reasons if you don't, all year dry January. So there's different spirits out there now that are doing no alcohol, low alcohol. So we tried one of those that was very popular. It was funny-ish overall. But anyway, that just went up, and I noticed because that was the one we kind of reversed because I was hiding it from Keith what it was.
Right.
And I wanted him to try it. And when we did it last week, we actually started like pretty much almost right away with like already tasting and like doing all that stuff. That has gotten, for the first few views that have been on there, a longer amount of view than some of the other ones.
Oh.
Usually like we average like couple minutes, like people like watching this.
Do you want to try that again?
I'm just saying,
how was it for editing?
At some point it was fine.
Okay.
I think the only thing I did for editing was since we just don't, I don't know, that one made interesting. Yeah, no, the editing part was fine. Like since we were having it secret, but I wanted them to know, I did have a subtitle at the bottom that said what we were trying.
Oh, okay.
Because I even say something like, here it is at the bottom of the screen. So I put something
watch
up
that
there.
Actually, I didn't watch that
for all of this. So I did that. Overall, it's like, unless you're doing something hidden, it's kind of hard not to talk the very little that we talk about something. It's kind of hard not to talk about it. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe if I started putting like,
well, maybe we don't do the little shtick that we usually do. Maybe we just say, maybe like we start rolling. You put it up there. You're like, hey, everybody, this is what we got this week. We're gonna have a wine.
Try it.
So
doesn't hurt to try one, like something different like that. But yeah, like I said, that was, and again, it was a small sampling. I think, although we had more people watch it than usual, like on the first day, it's like we're always kind of slow. So, but I think out of the 8 views or whatever that it had since this morning or whatever. Like it was more
we could
time
just
total spent.
Just go right into. Hey guys, we're About Beverages. I'm Andrew. I'm Keith. Pop it right up there, and then we got a wine today. We're gonna get right into that. This is a Trader Joe's thing, maybe something. I don't know. I'm open to.
It's hard though, like to not like because all of a sudden like you're like, well, we're only 30 seconds away from what we normally. You know what I mean? It's because like I said with the other one, since it was hidden, it was literally like I did that 15-second little speech, and I was like, all right, what do you smell? And so we didn't say the name, we didn't say any of that, so that's what cut out all the time that moved it to the back end of the podcast. Because then once you picked it, we revealed it, and we're like, hey, and then all of a sudden I gave all this like boon of facts. So I don't know, like I said, if people have clicked on the podcast, they saw the title, so they know what it is.
Right.
If we hit the button right away and like literally just start the podcast with, like I said, Andrew and I, Keith, and we've got something today, boom, put the picture up, maybe you don't even say, I don't know. We could spitball experiment with something like that and just see how it feels as we're sitting here and chatting. But yeah. Yeah.
What if it's like we do it like mid, like because in a few minutes here, we'll break to go get the wine.
Right.
And we'll come back with that. We'll come back with said wine.
We'll
we can maybe
back
even
with said
open
wine.
it out there.
Okay.
Come in, have the glasses, have it sitting there. You and I talk. Maybe we just. No, but most times you watch somebody taste something, you see them pour it.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the pour.
Yeah. And maybe that's.
I've even usually done pretty well with like as you're saying the information, doing the opening part. So like I've even like melded. Like I feel like we keep, trimming things down quite a bit. Even that other podcast wasn't necessarily short because we did a lot of talking at the end.
Right.
Kind of, I always feel bad when I have to like say that I don't like something.
Yeah.
Even something that is affirmatively gross, like it was not good. Like please go watch that one if you're even thinking of buying one of their things. Like please do. I went back to it. I kept smelling it, and it like it the uncorked to the cork, pulling out the cork. Literally every time I go to take a that very medicinal cherry comes back every time. Okay. And I like every time I mention it to my wife, she's like, oh, so
I'll
like
still have to maybe when we go out there, I'll just take a quick whiff and see if it's changed, if my my perceptions have changed.
I'll take a sip too because I don't think it's ever going to be drank.
I'll just take some to go for the ride home.
Yeah.
Hey, are you drinking bourbon? No, it's Kentucky 74. The no smell, no tell Scott.
But people will appreciate your honest opinion. Yeah, and like because we don't. It's very rare that we we'll like this. Okay, this is well made. It's not for me. It's okay. We don't. We're not in the business of shock value. We don't do that kind of stuff. Like I said, you come to us because we're not the over the top. We're not
unless it's vodka. No, I'm just kidding.
Even then, we can tell when something's well crafted. We're just like, this is just kind of worthless.
It's not right. We just don't understand it.
We just don't understand it. And like I said, this is well made. It's just maybe not totally for me, but I think the flavor in there is good. I wish there was maybe a little more, but you probably can't because this is completely natural, which I appreciate. But yeah, it's definitely
for what it is. It's a good representation of that.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine.
So this is a 6-pack. How much is the 6-pack?
Dear God. I actually don't remember. I think it was 8.
I think it's a total wine, so I can look quick.
$8.99 maybe. Maybe I'm thinking we have it probably around $9. Maybe it's a little bit more. Yeah, just grabbed the one can. So we just got it in last week, so it's been selling. So. There it is.
So $10.
Yeah, so that's probably what we charge for it.
So around $10 for a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Like I think this is good. Sure. Definitely refreshing. Like we would probably call this like summertime pool beer kind of
lower
thing.
Lower alcohol. So that's good. Yeah.
Lower alcohol. 5%.
I thought it was 4.9.
How about 4.5?
4.5. Oh, see, 4.9 on the thing there. So 4.5 here.
Oh, okay.
6.5, 6.9 with the afro.
That's a good.
So 4.5, 4.9.
That's a good Fletch reference right there. Yes. A clear, refreshing American wheat ale enhanced with the subtle sweetness of all natural prickly pear flavor. Prickly pear imparts a delicate sweetness to our award-winning wheat ale. So this is like a wheat ale that they normally have anyway, and then they've added prickly pear to it. It sounds like.
Which that's funny. I went back when I shared that site for the Kentucky 74 with our newest listener, and I went back and looked at that again. I know we looked at it when we were podcasting too, and they say they start with a neutral spirit.
Correct.
And and then they did the quick infusion.
Right.
So I don't think they were necessarily starting with the best, probably.
Well, that's what you wonder
to begin with, which
Right.
is why I would be intrigued if I ever see like the Whistle Pig one come up again. I would, I'd split that or just to try it because that intrigues me. I want to find that. I've yet to find the first non-alcoholic beverage where I go, that's it. That's the one.
And I see a lot of people,
beer, whether it's
I see a lot of people talking up, some of the beers that we've had. The Athletic Brewing. Like I don't know if it's just because it's promote. Like again, I think it's for us. We're in a little bit like this is almost like a privileged position where we don't have to drink that stuff or don't feel the need to it. So then our bar is up here,
right?
For people that either want to or need to drink that. Because either they, don't want alcohol, can't, but still want to have those beer flavors because they have liked them in the past, know them, whatever. I think their bar is maybe just naturally lower.
Right.
So then when anyone kind of hits slightly above that bar, they're ecstatic.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what I see when I read a lot of the comments and things like that. Because we did podcasts on them. I don't know if I think we officially reviewed like at least one or two of them that you had. And they weren't bad. It's just like none of them tasted completely like a beer,
right?
Which maybe it's just so difficult. And those were some of those low carb too, because it was Athletic Brewing,
possibly.
Because we did a couple different things where we had the no carb. We also had the one where there was gluten free.
We did
the stuff
the Holiday.
Right, which those were better.
I've actually when people come to the store,
the Holiday I can recommend for gluten free.
Yeah,
but that does have alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the Athletic Brewing has alcohol, right?
No, Athletic. No, that was non-alcoholic.
That one is non-alcoholic.
Right.
Okay.
You got non-alcoholic versus gluten free, and because I'll have people,
we did a lot of the active lifestyle stuff. It runs together to me, so I apologize.
But I will tell people, I'll have people ask if we have gluten free beer, and the only one that we carry right now at Trader Joe's is the Delicious, which I'll say.
Oh, that one's good.
From
Stone?
Yeah, I guess I don't like it very much.
I think you don't.
I don't like it, and you're like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so, I'm fine with it. Maybe that's one that I am at that point where I'm like, if the bar is so low like that one, I'm appreciative of.
But I'll tell people, or I'll ask people, how gluten free is it? How who is the person that's drinking?
How little gluten do you need?
Because
which is true.
Because it even says right on there, this is not a gluten free beer. It's crafted to reduce. And so I go through that whole thing, and I'll say, depending on what direction you're heading,
and when your customer wakes up from your speech, because it's gone on for a very long time.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow. All I'm trying to do is prevent them from having a severe allergic reaction and a medical-induced coma or a beer-induced coma.
Oh, they're already in a coma.
Wow. Wow. Well, that was uncalled for. I'm taking my wine and my bourbon and I'm going home. I'm out of here. No, I try to keep it succinct.
Okay.
Yes. Kidding. I don't go on and on.
So you're saying I'm redundant. So you're saying I repeat things. So I say things over and over again.
But that would be irresponsible of me to say, there's a gluten-free beer over there. Oh, well, thank you. I have celiac disease. I can drink this. No, you can't.
Well, were they wearing that shirt when they came in?
It says it right across there. Just like it says cheers. It says no. So no, I want to at least make sure that they know what actually. And
when they say, "Do we have a gluten-free beer?" You just say, "No, we don't. We have reduced gluten."
Yes. I'll say, who is it for? Because not everybody needs. Somebody that might be interested in a gluten-free beer might not need it to be completely gluten-free. It could be the one that we have.
I can have a touch of gluten.
I can have a touch of gluten.
There's a couple different. There's the Touch of Gray by obviously.
And there's a touch of gluten.
There's a touch of
Every
gluten.
silver lining has a touch of gluten.
Every silver lining has a touch of gluten.
No, but I can recommend those Holiday beers because
I can too.
The couple we've had have been good, and we actually thought we'd even want to try another one or two of those at another time. So but alcohol free, we haven't found it yet. So.
Did we get to have a stout at some? Did they have a stout Holiday?
They have one.
We have not had it.
I don't think
right?
we've tried it.
We've tried two different IPAs, right?
Yeah, like a hazy and a session or something like that. But they were good.
And the Holidays are gluten free, right?
Yeah, their brewery is 100% because I think the owner or the owners. Somebody
I think it was because it's white.
Actually is it does have celiacs or. Yeah, their brewery is 100% gluten free.
Beer lover, being gluten intolerant, lack of good tasting gluten free options, the Challenger Karen. Company dedicated to creating excellent tasting gluten. Okay, it is gluten free.
Yep.
For some reason, because I remember even when we did that podcast, I got confused because it is like, because I think is the athletic. There was one of the other ones we tried, and I thought it like, I don't know. I thought there was something.
Whoa.
Pocket, how's it going?
Welcome,
Good to see
Pocket.
you.
The workday is done, finally.
Dedicated the lack of gluten. Day being done. So we've got a wine we're going to start off for our first podcast of the evening. What do you want to? Why did this one intrigue you so much? We'll give all the backstory now here in this archive.
You want the
version.
backstory now? You don't want it. This isn't. So we don't want podcast material, or do we want one at the end of the tasting?
I don't know. What do you want to do with that one?
I don't know. Maybe you can edit it. Maybe you can.
Do you want to go right to the I just completely shifted.
Yeah.
Like as soon as we go to the tasting, I just move that to the front. The other stuff to me. So we introduce ourselves halfway into the podcast.
We don't care who you are. We just want to know what you think about this beverage.
Yeah. We can give rat's ass who you are.
Hey, I saw these two guys. They like it.
Look at these two guys.
Who are they? I don't know. It's just two guys. I didn't watch long enough to know who they were. I just saw they were drinking something I wanted to try.
I just saw they were drinking something.
That's all I care about.
That's all the actual stats and info I needed at the time.
Well, no, I thought so. I'm working again with Fitz, and I thought he's a wonderful beverage resource.
Yes, he is.
And food resource, but specifically beverages. And so I thought, you know what? I wanted to try a wine. We talked about that last week. I thought I'm going to ask him what are some of his favorites or, hidden gems, that kind of thing. But then also, too, I was looking for something to kind of go with pizza. And I can't remember if I said that first or how I presented it to him, but
when in the podcast did you mention the pizza part to Fitz? So when in the podcast to Fitz did you mention the pizza part?
I'm not sure if I did.
Okay,
I can't remember if I did or I didn't, but then maybe I did. Maybe then later I said, "What do you think is a good pizza?" I don't know. Somewhere it was all mixed in,
all tied up and mixed into this.
Mixed in. And he said, "Oh, he's like, you know what you should try?" He said, "Is this Chianti?" He's like,
I'm not super familiar with Chianti. Is Chianti actually like a grape variety?
Chianti,
is it blend?
From a region. I think it's
okay. So it's the Chianti region.
I think it's the Chianti region, and
in
this particular
Italy or Sicily.
Yeah, Italy. Sicily is in Italy.
What's the? No, I thought Sicily isn't that the island down under by the boot?
Italy. Oh, part of Italy.
Are they considered all the same thing? How does it work?
I think so. I don't know. Help us out geographically here.
Geographically
speaking. Sicily.
Italian region. Okay. There you go. Learning things right now.
You can type in Chianti. Region as well.
You can see I was looking up the Chianti Classico earlier. Chianti wine is any wine producing Chianti region of central Tuscany.
And often Tuscany. Poppy. C. It usually is Sangiovese is Chianti, and this one it's 90 Sangiovese and 10% cab.
Okay.
Reserva means it's aged in oak for 3 years, and it spends another 24 months and then 3 more months in the bottle.
Oh, well, that's a good amount of
it says
aging.
that at the bottom. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Reservas.
This is
yeah.
I'm getting more intrigued by the moment here. I like this.
It's almost
like we should go get it and
go
come back
try
into the podcast.
Sure.
What do you think? Okay.
Let's just come back with a full glass and
a full glass. We've already tasted the other half of the bottle, so it's really just kind of the back end. That's actually how quick we could make our podcast. It was like it was good.
We liked it.
We put up the graphic. We're like, we're gonna try this one. It was delicious. Yeah. Whether we like it or not, you should give it a shot.
Yeah.
We just put up the graphic. We walk out.
That's it. We'll just put the graphic.
Those are going to be the new shorts in our TikToks. Those are where those are going to be.
There you go.
So, all right. Let me grab a song here, and we'll take a quick break. We will walk out and, get that going. I think I actually have a song. Good. All right. We will see you guys in just a moment, and we will give a Chianti a try.
We are.
And we are back. The curtain is up.
We have returned.
We have returned.
Beverage
in
never
hand.
even left. We just needed to go away for a few.
Just needed a minute. There was way too much going on here. We just needed really it was it was the cookie overload. It was too much sugar, even just through the conversation. Too much sweetness. We are back. We were going to record a podcast here in a minute. We are just going to stall for a few minutes because my wife is on her way home. She should be home any minute. As soon as she comes in, our 3 dogs are going to be like, "Yay, she's home!"
A 3-dog greeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is kind of actually what 3-dog night. They're kind of unemployed right now, so that is exactly what they do.
The 3-dog greeting.
Yeah,
they go
so
to the house.
They go to houses. They yeah, it's like a singing telegram from Clue. Da 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 da. I am your singing telegram.
What's that from?
Clue. Remember the lady? She gets shot right at
My
the door.
God, I haven't seen Clue in.
Because then
I
they
think I've
go
seen
over,
it
and
once.
Christopher Lloyd goes over the door when they're revealing everything, and he's like, she was my patient. I slept with her. Like it was like that was because like everybody knew everybody, so like it was all Mr. Body's like plant. You don't remember this movie?
No, I saw it.
Wow.
Probably when did it come out? Like 87, 88,
something like that.
I
Yeah, probably.
think we probably rented it, and I saw it once, and it was 30-some years ago.
Oh,
I know.
No, that is a classic, fun movie. I think you guys should watch that again.
I would bet one of our newest viewers has probably seen it.
Oh, do you think so?
Oh yeah, he's come on. You, like I said, you guys can go back and forth on movies.
But yeah, so we're gonna stall for a little bit here until
let's talk about football.
in. So yeah, so what's going on? I heard some really good things at the end of the football season. I heard some fantasy football things went very well for you.
Did win fantasy football league.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that is super cool.
And now I don't know if did I tell you I got a free entrance into their Champion of Champions tournament.
What is that?
Well, you get $200.
Okay.
And then each player has a dollar value.
Oh, okay. I've
And
heard
you
of
have
stuff
to
like that.
and you have to assemble your team. So last week I came in like 75,000 out of 121,000.
Not amazing.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, well, because I picked stupid Daryl Williams, who had 1 carry and he fumbled. And I also
that sounds like bad.
I also picked AJ Green, who had no receptions or anything. So
Okay.
because the Cardinals got completely slammed on
That was
Monday
super
night.
frustrating. I was really hoping that this is going to be a little, and it's tough, but I think I may actually have to root for Tom Brady this next weekend because I really don't like the Rams.
Oh wow, okay.
I don't like the
I
Rams.
have money
for
on
this.
the Rams to win the Super Bowl, so I'll be
do you?
hoping they win.
I apologize.
But no, that's fine. You can root for it.
I don't want
You
to root
can-
against your own money interest.
No, it's $10. That was not even mine.
Oh, well, never mind
So-
then. I don't, because I just feel like we put together this team, and I don't like Sean McVay. Like I think he seems like kind of I don't know. I think he kind of did, not that I'm a Jared Goff fan, but I think he kind of did him a little dirty, like kind of really talked him out the door. And then, they're like, oh, I need it's like the amount of trades and stuff. So I would just love to see all that crumble. Like I would just love to see that crumble. And again, as much as I don't like Tom Brady, I also do respect, like they have nothing when it comes to offense right now. They have so many players out. So if they can win a game.
hurt. Yeah. Okay, so then the question is Rams versus Packers for the NFC Championship.
Well, but it won't be. The Niners are going to beat the Packers this weekend. So,
But if it's Rams versus Packers.
then I'd root for the.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I didn't know how much that, how
Please
far
no.
up that.
Please no, nothing overtakes how much I hate the Packers as
all
a
right.
Bears fan.
Just
please.
making sure. Yeah, no, I'd definitely be rooting for the Niners this week, of course. But I didn't know.
I was rooting for him last week too. Like I loved everyone like trying to. There was in all of these games, there was always some officiating foibles, but the last part of the game was not the official's fault. That guy, that man was booking down the field as much as he could.
That was a dumb play,
and he shouldn't have run.
Yeah, it was
so
stupid.
that's part one. Two, they know he has to hand the ball the foot, like, so they set it and like they were blocking him.
Yep.
He pushed and did as much as he like. That is not on the official at all.
Yeah, no. When originally, then Dak Prescott had been like, "Oh, I'm glad the fans threw things at the event." I heard he said that in his press conference, and then he apologized for that today, saying that he was out of line. Yeah, he said, "No, well, the fans were frustrated. We were frustrated." He's like, "If they threw things, good for them." And and it was real. I read an article.
I mean, I know he was upset.
No, and I read an article about that had basically said, "God, he's like." That was so unlike him to say that, and
because he usually seems like a real and everything he's been through. I respect Dak Prescott, like especially as a person. That seems like he's gone through a ton, and I appreciate what he's done for talking about mental health, and illness, and all the different kinds of things that go along with that. So, that is.
So he did, though. I did read an article though today that he did apologize. He deeply regretted saying what he said. So, as he should.
As well he should. Yeah, yes. I would say so. That is kind of that is I'm honestly shocked to hear that. Honestly shocked to hear that.
Maybe we need a
double check.
What a Handsome Pete.
We
didn't have one last week, so let's Handsome Pete.
Okay, we can Handsome Pete it up.
Let's do it.
We'll do it. We'll pay for the Handsome Pete right here. We'll give it right there.
that's handsome Pete. He dances for nickels.
It's true he does.
Pete, you got some customers.
All right.
That was good. Someone randomly did the Dave Foley one the other day, and I was super happy. See, there's
the
all the
dogs.
happiness right there.
Yes. Oh, good. I had a feeling that Pocket would enjoy that, and hopefully others did as well.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, we're working right now. We're at the end of the stall because of the dogs.
Yeah,
Because we're hearing the dogs. If you have not heard them,
close.
they are there.
Put those down for a second. Wait just another, let some things get organized.
Let it die down.
Let it die down. Let everyone relax. I can hear at the door. I hear the pitter patter of tiny little feet. And that's not just my wife I'm talking about.
She pitter patters
She pitter patters
with her tiny little feet.
tiny little feet.
That's what she likes to do when she comes home from work.
Yeah.
Pitter patter.
Yeah. Probably more stomp and frustration. No, I'm just kidding. Válgame Dios. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. Well, let's get organized for the podcast here. Let me take down this. We are going to be doing a podcast, so we do remove a few things from your view. It's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't love the subscriptions, the follows, the bits, all of things that come along with streaming here on Twitch. We love all that stuff. But this podcast, again, is going to go up on YouTube, as well as the full archive of this show. But the YouTube version that will go up at some point, we just try and keep it all just kind of contained, I guess would be the best word for it.
Correct.
I would say. So
Stand alone.
that's right. Just like Godsmack, they stand alone. That is a song by Godsmack.
I'll take your word on
I
it.
stand. I knew you're gonna have to take my word on it. Yes, I had a feeling you might need to take my word for it. What's Reserva Dakug? That's probably
It's
an
like
acronym.
denomination of origin. It has to do with that.
Cool Gang.
Yeah, Cool in the
It's,
Gang.
it's from the Cool in the Gang. Is from
the DOCG. Yeah, it has something to do with where it originates, I believe.
Are you down with DOCG?
Yeah, you know me.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Checking. Just checking. All right. I think we're good. Good enough. If not, it's fine. It's the world we live in.
That's fine.
It's fine.
And so we're doing usual style then?
I think so.
For
Maybe
this?
we'll try something
Okay.
different with the bourbon. That one might be
Okay.
easier to do.
All right.
Because this one, at least, I think I even need some things explained to me.
Well,
You know what never goes out of style? The classics.
the classics.
Yeah.
The classics never do go.
They don't.
That's what
The-
makes them classics.
Dare I say the Classico?
The Classico. Okay.
I don't
The
know.
Chianti Classico?
Perhaps.
That's the one Classico I think of.
Well, I think that's what we've got for this. Give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Fior Divino Chianti Classico. Oh, that's where that came from.
Oh, see,
I
that's
got
where
it.
that
I
very
got it.
weak
Okay.
transition came from. Yes, that is 100% correct. So this is a Trader Joe's exclusive?
It is actually. We'll have a link to their website, Fior Divino, but it says actually right kind of near the top of it as you go click on the description, the link for this particular wine at their site. It says available exclusively at Trader Joe's.
So this is not one of the usual, not that there's anything wrong with that, but this is not the usual, like Trader Joe's, we went out and sought someone out, bought their stuff, bottled it in our label. This is actually the vintner themselves saying, we'd like to produce something specifically for Trader Joe's.
We must have a relationship there with that particular winery. And I say that because I work at Trader Joe's. We originally got this in 2014 with that vintage. We have the 2017 vintage here. And this is a Reserva. And Reserva means that it has spent 24 months. Ooh, that was a good sound.
Thank you.
24 months.
Wasn't even the wine cork either.
It's just 24 months in the barrel and 3 more months in the bottle. So,
Okay.
and this was recommended to me by current, again, coworker, Fitz, who is a friend of the show. You can go back to the archives and listen to our one of our, it was audio only.
Audio only and one of our longer podcasts.
10 Scotch podcasts. I was talking with him. I said, hey, what's one of your favorite kind of hidden gems, wine-wise? What's something that Andrew and I should be trying? And he pretty much immediately thought of this one.
He said, nothing. I've got nothing for you.
That'll be a sad, sad day when I ask Fitz for a recommendation on a beverage, and he's like, I got nothing.
That's the day when we just are done podcasting.
Yeah,
period.
I think
If Fitz runs out of recommendations,
The sun might not come up tomorrow. So
that too. Yeah, exactly. The internet has finally gone down. We'll talk about price probably at the very end.
Sure.
Because that's always kind of nice to, at least for me, I know you know what it is.
I do.
Since you paid for it. Did you steal it?
No.
Okay.
No stealing.
I'm assuming you didn't.
I got my discount on it, so that makes it a steal.
Oh,
Whoa.
look at you. Yeah. So I should have done one of these. There you go. I haven't done one of those.
Delayed.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm not overly familiar with this style. Like I even had to ask you, I was like, is this a region? Is it a grape? And you're like, oh, it's a region. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
In Italy.
Chianti, is a region, and this is 90% Sangiovese and 10% Cab.
Okay.
Sangiovese, I believe, is one of the, if not the, but is one of the big grapes in that region.
Okay.
So.
Color is dark red. I would go for a little ruby red kind of going there.
A little bit of
garnet, perhaps.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Not you can see through it a little bit to the, not see through, but it's not that dense.
Yeah.
Red or purpley red color. But
all right, the aroma. Let's get to the good stuff.
let's do it. Fior di vino.
Fior di vino. Winemaker's choice.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh.
Literally right there,
There
on
it
the
is,
website.
right there on the website. Okay.
Right there on the website. Reserve. You finish.
What is this?
My Italian turns into Borat for some reason at some point. Unfortunate for all of you listeners and viewers out there.
The second movie, right? That's Borat?
I watched it.
And?
It was okay.
Okay.
That was the one that was exclusive to Amazon. I think that came out beginning of. It was BP, beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, BP.
Before pandemic, after
Yeah.
I don't know if we don't even have AP exactly yet as of the
No.
recording of this video. If you guys are watching this way in the future, how'd it go? Are we
Hopefully.
okay?
Hopefully we're all right.
Are we okay? You
How
ready?
many shots did you get? Yes.
How many shot? What number shot are you on? We're on our third currently. See how much further we need to go. It's got some really nice bright fruit in there. There's some cherry. There's some black raspberry. There's even like a minerality to like a iodine kind of like scent to it.
Wow.
Like I said, there's kind of that going on there. It smells very rich. I like it.
I wish I could smell it.
I'm not getting a lot
Still
out of this
not
one.
getting a lot now. Just
Okay.
a little bit of mild fruit.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely, so this is one of, like, you were kind of getting like this seems like it might be one that would miss because it's kind of in the middle to lower end
Okay.
of like all the aromas. Like there's not anything super high in here. A little bit of cherry kind of pops through, and then
I do
everything
get
else
something.
everything else is kind of more the lower notes. But it smells very good.
Okay.
I like it. For some reason, I always associate Chianti with I think of like cheap wine or something like that, and that. Like I said, when you think of that, like, oh, let's go with some Chianti or something
Right.
like it's always like
You see the
a cheap
the
Italian
wicker
pizza
basket,
parlor,
which we sell
yes,
one of those.
100%.
The big wicker basket.
That's
yeah.
what I think of. So,
And I think that there is that association.
as with
well.
anything, yeah.
Yeah.
There's cheap beer, there's good beer,
Yeah.
there's whatever. Like there's all that kind of levels. But it smells good. I'm excited for the taste. Can we do that?
I hope a little bit more.
I hope
Yes.
so too. Ready?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Just like spill it everywhere.
Yeah.
Getting any more in the taste?
I'm getting more, but not a lot still.
Okay.
I had a red wine over the weekend. It was a GSM, which was a French red blend, and Fitz had described that as soft. Big fan of soft wine, and it was just very easy. It was easy to drink. There just wasn't a lot. This is definitely, I would say, not a soft wine. I do get maybe a little bit of alcohol kind of in there, but
at the very end, there's a little it kind of peeks through a little bit on the finish. I would agree.
Yeah, it's dry, which I like that. And I get some fruit. That I can't quite pick out. Maybe that cherry, or maybe a little blackberry or a little raspberry. Not raspberry, maybe a little blackberry cherry. But I like, it's not, the body's not what I usually I like something heavier, but with this, I wasn't expecting a lot, so it seems appropriate. And it seems like a good spaghetti wine, good. But so tell me what I'm missing.
I think honestly, I think you're spot on. Like, so there's less in the taste than in the aroma to me. The aroma was a little more enticing. The flavor, because it is on the thinner side. It doesn't seem to hold up as many of those. Like, I just kind of get the little bit of brighter cherry that was in there, maybe some black raspberry or something like else going on in there. And then, it's a little dry, little alcohol kind of comes through at the end. Definitely, I think it'd be good. Like I said, it's a much more upgraded pizza spaghetti, like to go with those kinds of foods. I think it would be perfect because it is a little on the drier side. So then that'll help with those types of dishes, I think, in a way, because it won't over accentuate, because in when you think about spaghetti sauces and pizza, like those kind of typical sauces, that's already got a lot of that tomato and that kind of flavor. So you kind of want something like this. It's a little more bottom end in a way. Yeah. So I think this is good. It's still not one I would normally reach for, I would say, but I know what I said at the beginning of the podcast. I don't know a lot about it, but from this style, what I do know about it, it's definitely to style, but an upgrade on what I have had previously. So it's good. Not one it's one of those ones maybe I'd have as, like you have to have a vodka in your bar. You have to have this thing. I would have one of these around just because of that every once in a while when I want to have that one. Right. But overall, it would not be like, oh, I love having like 3 or 4 different Chianti. Like, it's probably still not going to be a style.
The style, yep.
So the Reserva, so 12?
7.
Okay.
$6.99.
I was going to say under 10, and then the Reserva, I thought like, oh, that one's always more than. Okay. $7? Yeah, no, definitely for that then. How much are the jugs with the stuff around it? Are those also
are
7,
10.
but they're 3?
No, those are 10.
But are they triple size?
Like 1.5 liter, so they're double size.
So it's like 5. Then.
Yeah.
Like
right.
We
sell a lot of those things.
I mean, it's got that classic look, so you kind of get that.
Yep.
And speaking of classic looks,
our
website currently still has a little bit of a classic look. It's aged to perfection over the last decade or so, but hopefully new things are on the horizon. In fact, maybe when you're seeing this or a few weeks after you've seen this, if you've watched this on YouTube where you can subscribe, you may be able to find a completely refreshed and brightened website. But until then, just know that it is going to get an update very soon. And if you only want audio stuff, we've got you covered there too. Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast. If you have a favorite podcasting app you like using, just search for About Beverages. You will more than likely find us there, and then you can listen to us that way as well, which we appreciate. As well as, we've got some pillars that we've got going on too.
You're talking about the 3 pillars of social media?
Uh-huh.
Our 3 pillars.
The 3 classico pillars.
The 3 classicos. Those being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is what we used most often. Like earlier tonight when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings around 4:30. Well, right now around 4:30 Pacific. Until the time changes.
Yep.
5:30 Mountain, and you can do the math for the rest
Eastern.
Yes, all of that stuff.
Greenwich Mean Time
in Hawaii. It's
yeah, exactly.
In London, and we do have people who listen over there. So,
we do, which is nice.
Which is very cool. But we'll keep you up to date on what we're going to be drinking, what we're going to be trying, and inviting you to join us here to hang out. And also, Andrew keeps you up to date on what he's doing throughout the week as far as the gaming world goes and what he is enjoying as he is exploring that gaming world. So follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.
And that is a podcast.
I said, you should give it a shot.
Yeah. And all of a sudden we just become even more racist. Put all of those.
But it's funny. I worked with a guy who was from Italy and spoke Italian. He's like, We do talk like that.
We do.
That's it.
No, I think this is good. It's just not like, it's definitely not a style I would normally reach for. Is this something you're like, oh, I would buy another bottle of this? Keith Barron's, would you do it?
I would actually.
Okay.
I would have this with my mod pizza.
Oh, okay. I've not actually ordered from there before. Do you like the mod pizza?
We do. Yeah, they
Okay.
got some good choices.
Do they have
You
a
can build your
cauliflower
own
crust?
and what's that?
They have a cauliflower crust option?
I don't know if they have a they do have it. I think they have a gluten-free. And I'm not sure if it's cauliflower or not, but
Kirkland has a really good cauliflower pizza. It's hard for me to say.
Just the crust or
The whole thing. It's the crust.
Okay,
It's,
'cause we
the
sell the
sauce is made
crust
out of
at-
cauliflower. That no.
Oh,
I'm
no.
just kidding. Yeah, no. It's
no,
the
it was the whole pizza put together on the crust.
It is the whole pizza put together.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, it's like a supreme pizza. The only thing that's different is the crust. Is
Okay.
but it's really good though. I like that one. It's
We
fun.
have cauliflower crusts at the store and got different things you can. Yeah, if you need to be gluten-free, you could your pizza
with
that
your
way.
beer.
With your gluten-free beer. That's right.
Gluten-free beer and everything else.
Yeah.
That's what they should start using maybe in the beers. Maybe it's supposed to, rice and barley and everything else. They
Cauliflower.
use cauliflower.
With cauliflower in the mash bill.
Cauliflower in the. Oh, you can really taste the kale.
Hey, we've got a completely vegetarian mash bill here.
Oh, God.
Broccoli, cauliflower, all your basic cruciferous vegetables. That's your mash. Wonder what that would be.
I
It'd
don't
just
know.
be a fresh juice, I guess.
I wonder
right?
what you get. I mean, because there's starchiness in there, but I don't think you get near enough sugars. Literally going to look someone has done this. Come on. We can't be the only one that made a joke about this.
beer can. No.
Oh, it's a beer
No.
can chicken. Crispy beer battered cauliflower.
Maybe it's good in a way.
Oh, yep. That's as specific as I can get.
That's right. Mashed cauliflower.
Yep.
We did.
Nope, didn't happen. Okay.
Nobody's done it.
Nobody's put that in the beer yet. We're going to be the entrepreneurs of that.
Yeah, no, I would.
For this, like again, for that, I would have one on hand. Again, it wouldn't be one that I'd reach for, but there'd be that one night where you're like, you know what'll go good with this?
Yeah.
Is something not because usually, actually, what I didn't want to mention it during the podcast, but I need to get another one of the OZV and try one of those, like whatever the new year is for that, because we should do one of those again, because that was definitely one of my favorites for a while. Like I said, that one vintage in particular.
Yeah, no, I like that. I haven't
That
had
was one of
OZV. I
my-
still recommend it, so I probably should. That's one I probably should revisit as well. When I bought that GSM last week, and it was funny because I bought it and then I was like, Vince, have you tried that? He's like, yeah. He's like, I wasn't a big fan. He's like, but I don't like soft wines. He was totally right on with that, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I probably won't buy it again either.
Okay.
But I was looking at like we have a Old Vines Inn, a Trader Joe's version. There were a few that I thought, I need to revisit these. I've been enjoying the wine. So
How much is that one running? It was under 10, wasn't it?
the OZ, we sell it for $9.49.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ, we do have a $15 Barolo, and then we recently actually got in our Barbaresco and Barolos that run like 21 and 22. We usually get them like once a year, and we got them again this year, but they're not quite as old as previous years. But yeah, I know that Barolo, the one I believe you're speaking of, it's very popular. I'm not usually a big fan of Barolo because it's very dry, which I don't mind, but it's also very thin. And I don't, at least for me, it's thin. But this isn't very dry. To me, this is dry, but not like this other Barolo is, at least the one we have. I just thought, ooh, that's just
Okay.
too thin for me. And especially at $15. This to me is got some fruit and there's just a little more to it. But yeah, I'm going to explore other things first before looping around back to this again. But
Right.
But
But
if-
you would, like, if you're like, I need something like that,
Yeah.
now you know one you
Yeah,
could easily
absolutely.
grab. Yeah.
Yep.
I would agree. Yeah, I think this would be the category of like, let's explore some other things, but this is a solid version of this style.
because I bought a few years ago.
Seems like one. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, God, it was a few years ago when Ben was still at home. We did the Costco lasagnas, and I
Oh, those
bought
are good.
and I bought a bottle
We still
of
get those.
the Chianti, a Trader Joe Chianti. It was a different one. It was a $5.99 one, and I just remember it being very thin, even thinner than this.
And that's what I always think of when I
Yeah.
think of Chianti is what you just said there.
Yeah, but I like Sangiovese is usually a grape I like. So
Sangiovese though, like I usually always see that as kind of like a blender, like in a lot of things. Like when I look at, especially like the stuff from Chupacabra and Merkin Vineyards and stuff like that, from the Arizona wine stuff. You see that a lot in there, and it's probably because it holds up to the heat well. But it's always like the 10 or 15% thing. And I remember us talking. You were like, "Well, that's kind of the blender. That's the filler." And I was always like, "Well, then why don't I drink the filler?"
It was another one. I thought it was the Mourvedre or
that one of those. You know what? You might be right,
because we have done a Sangiovese from somebody in Arizona, I think.
Okay.
So,
you might be right when it comes to that. That's
Chianti. True. So, all right. Well,
and you said there was cab in here too?
10%.
10% cab.
That's what I said.
Amazing too that it got that much aging too. 24 months. I wonder what it's aged in. Say what kind of oak doesn't look like
kegs.
Yeah.
No.
Von Kruger Scotch. Enjoy it with pasta, cheese, grilled meat, or on its own. You drunken bastard.
I think it might say at the site there. You scroll down, but I don't know if it says aged in oak or aged in barrels. It says, I believe.
Meat, acidities, layer.
Cherry.
Red plum cherry. Okay. Tart raspberry. Yeah. I did not get pepper. Veal. Who's eating veal these days? Tuscany, between
in the barrel. This says barrel, doesn't say what kind of barrel.
Oh, that's right. Aged in the barrel for 24. I don't know. Probably not oak. This wine is absolutely disgusting. I just keep drinking it. No. It's all of a sudden I felt like I kept going.
That's not my style.
I'm intrigued. No, it's not. Yeah, as I drink the whole bottle. No, it's very pleasant.
Just
that's
your wine dollar.
Yes.
This isn't what you're going to go for.
Yeah. So what did you say?
Go for that.
But you said $7 though.
$7.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we sell a lot of this wine. It sells very well.
This feels like you know what this feels like?
What does it feel like?
It feels like this is like a starter wine. Like you'd be like, I'm having this for my meal. I'm having some appetizers. Okay, now I'm going to have this other one.
Bring on the big guns.
Yeah, bring on the big guns. Exactly.
Yeah.
Tianello is primo of Sangiovese, and a lot of Elgin area wines nail that lush taste like Sand Reckoner and Dos Cabezas. Have you had any of those?
You had Dos Cabezas, I think, is one we may have done on a podcast.
Did we do Dos Cabezas?
Pete, he dances for nickels. Pete, you got some customers.
Did we do a podcast on that?
Thought we had one. Sand Reckoner.
Well,
actually, I was just looking. Tap and Bottle is having an event. A Girl Scout cookie pairing event.
I saw that.
And they're talking about beer and San Reckoner wines as well. There's no Dos?
Looking right at Give me a second.
No, I saw the other screen come up. And I was like, wow, it's already no. The R. Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Maybe
I thought
maybe I have to spell the whole thing out. See, this old school website, sometimes you got to work a little hard.
Dos Cab.
Arizona wines. One of those was.
Maybe.
Tasting notes, the Arizona wines. So this is from November 15th of 2010, so very recently.
Sangiovese. There you go.
There's a Sangiovese, and I liked it. At the time. Dos Cabezas Wine Works. There you go.
Okay, we've done the Dos.
Sangiovese, Grenache, and Mourvedre. And Keeling Schaefer.
Yeah, we used to Trader Joe's used
fun. We used to do like big things like
Trader Joe's used to
themes. I like themes.
The themes are good. Yeah. Oh, we could do a theme again. Trader Joe's used to carry the Keeling Schaefer. We had a couple of them that were really good. In fact,
November 7th of 2010.
And I was I was at the Campbell store at that time, and I was working with Fitz. He may have even suggested that.
Oh my God!
Who knows?
You got to tell him about that we looked up. It's in his Sangiovese recommendations.
Yep. But that one I thought was one you bought. You guys.
It was actually we went to Sonoyta Vineyards. Yeah. That's actually correct.
You guys
actually did go there.
Yeah, I thought when I saw that, it just was correct. Well, we can do a theme if you want to next week.
A theme of can we do a theme of Old Vines Infidels? Since I mentioned
okay.
I mean, if there was other ones you wanted to try,
I can get the Trader Joe's their Old Vines Infidels $6.
This Sand Reckoner looks really familiar. Did I buy one of these? Like this logo looks really familiar, or I just bookmarked it. Oh, if I spell it right too. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, so the Trader Joe's one.
So depending on how much we also got back in the Saldo, the prisoner, that's like a $25. And then how much you want to spend on
What
this?
are the other two?
One would be 6, and the one would be a little under 10. If you want to do 3.
What if you get the 2 and I get the other one? I'll get the $6. You get the 10. The 20.
Good deal.
I worked that out perfectly. No, if I do the big one, and if you do the other 2, would you do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Wow,
We're not even at the end of the show. We've already figured it out. I'm actually kind of super excited about that, though. Like we'll split it up into 3 podcasts. Like we'll do part 1, 2, and 3 or something. Like I don't know.
We'll do it all. Well, we can. Yeah, however you want to do it.
We'll figure out like exactly how we want to do that.
I swear.
But yeah, that would be interesting.
What do we?
I typed in the word sand and it found the word draw a line in the sand from something I wrote, and it's about the chocolate eggnog that we did.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I pick up a Chateau de Pop or Côte de Rhône whenever I hit TJ's. Goes good with your
shakshuka kit. Okay. It's a red
Tell
pepper.
Me what that is.
All you do is add an egg. It's like a red pepper. There's something else. You have to look at it. You could look that up actually. But there's you put an egg on it, and it does look delicious actually. I've never done the shakshuka kit, but
why not?
Shakshuka.
How did we not give the chocolate eggnog a 3? That was also from 2010. I just like saying all these words. RX, you're bringing in the wine info right now. I love this. Are you a Trader Joe's shopper? Apparently,
Sounds that way.
Trader Joe's, I love that.
Or at least a little bit.
It's always a good thing. I swear I have bought a bottle of Sand Reckoner at some point. Maybe I didn't podcast on it. I may have just bought it for myself. I actually still have a couple bottles that we've talked about doing, and I know if Berserker was here, he'd probably slap me around too, because they're like the barrel aged like cab or something like that. Like it's a bourbon barrel aged cab of some things. But yeah, I would like to try that OZV one again, and like I definitely like that style, so that would be interesting to try 3 of those and kind of go through.
What did you get?
At least a little bit of price range. What's that?
Because your nose is better. Usually is anyways, but especially now.
I don't know about that.
Cherry, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's cherry, black raspberry. Oh, and then I was getting like almost like an iodine. Like there was some sort of like mineral iodine. Like it was not like, it's weird to say blood, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's like that marker kind of smell. You know, there's that. I don't know what is a good term to say for that, but that's what I was getting.
Like the minerality is good, but
like iodine, like, you know, iodine kind of, like there's
there are some people will use that as that's not a negative thing necessarily.
Yeah, there's that at the back end of the nose, which I actually like. Like I said, the aroma to this is I really was intrigued. I really liked it, and then just for me, I think probably because of the thinness, maybe it didn't hold up some of those other flavors. I like the word shakshuka. It is a great word. That's what I was about to look up. Yeah, do you think that's on? Shakshuka, Trader Joe's. It is. Oh my God, it's actually on their website.
Oh wow, okay.
Put an egg on it. Dinner hack, quick and easy. What is it?
You have tomatoes and peppers.
That sounds good. What else is in there?
You can read more.
I'd like to read more. Everything you need, great, steamy, spicy, shiny in about 5 minutes. All that's required on your end are a pair of fresh eggs and a microwave or stove. Base of tomatoes, bell peppers, garlic, and fragrant spices. This haunt and peppery powerhouse of Middle Eastern cuisine has everything you could look for in a savory, satisfying. Why have you not tried this? This sounds delicious. Why are you so negative?
I haven't tried it.
Okay. Well, before next week, you better have it.
I'll bring a shakshuka with me.
Actually, a good sauce for this Italian palate. That probably actually would be. Like it says read more, and then now it says read less.
Read less. Go back in time.
2 TJ's eggs, crumbled feta cheese. Oh, fresh mint torn to pieces. Oh, so
They're
you're putting
recommending
that,
a little bit more.
so you're kind of putting that on something else.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking,
yeah.
I was almost thinking like it was adding an egg to like a ramen kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no, you're just popping it right on there.
It does look good though. I like all the things that they've mentioned in there. I feel they need to go the extra mile and have all the other, like, should just have 2 eggs sitting in there.
And they're all ready to go.
They're already soft boiled. You just got to warm them back up or something. Like, there's got to be some magic you can do for that.
Tell me I spelled.
What if it was a Shaquille O'Neal shakshuka? A shakshuka.
Shakshuka. Shakshuka.
I added shaved pecorino and sardines on the top of the eggs. Oh,
Okay. Love that. Is RX the new Debo or the fill-in Debo?
it might be.
When
He
Debo's
might
not
be
here.
our substitute Debo currently. Oh my God. Yeah. If you ever want to, any of your foodie tips, ! Discord, if you ever want to put stuff in there is a food for thought section that has videos and recipes and other things that we have put in there over the years, as well as obviously all the featured beverages. If you ever missed a show, don't know what archive it was from, all that kind of stuff, there are the featured beverages. You can scroll back through there pretty quick. And if there's stuff that you're having, there's also a pub there as well. Sounds like my kind of meal. I love sardine. I do too. Like anytime if I go to like a slightly more upscale restaurant and I get a Caesar salad, if I can ask for some extra anchovies, I love getting those on there. There's one of the Italian restaurants we go to, and they've even asked me a few times. They're like, "Would you like it?" I'm like, "Yes." It makes you feel good. Like,
Yes, please.
did you know that I want?
You
do I have a
get
look?
out of my mind.
Do I have an aura?
Get out of my head. You read my mind.
Now I just really want a salad. It's rare, but I want one. Should we get to the final
All right,
beverage of the
let's
evening?
do it. Let's get to
Are
that.
you excited?
I am actually looking forward to it.
Yeah. How do you feel about this last one though? Did it hit the notes you were hoping for, or
The Chianti?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm satisfied.
Okay.
Yes.
So would you say Fitz let you down? That's what you're telling me?
No.
Oh, okay. I misinterpreted that.
Not
Okay.
at all.
You're saying you hate
Once
this?
again, he's right on the money.
I would say, especially for this. So, what is the most expensive Chianti you have then at Trader Joe's? So we talked about there was some obviously $2 lower. This is $7.
Well, that actually is the most expensive one.
Oh, is it? There you go.
Well, I mean, unless you're talking about the 1.5 liter $10 one.
No.
We used to carry one. Was
Back in the day.
Back in the day, it was $12. And actually, when we had gone back east and visited the Italian members of the family, and I had bought that for them at a Trader Joe's there, and they tried it and they really loved that one. So I actually used to recommend that a lot at the store. We don't carry it anymore though, unfortunately. Fitz and I were having that same discussion earlier today. So
You have not been mocked for liking sardines. I love sardines too. I have an idea for a 1,000,000 channel point redemption. I want a featured beverage review for Dubra. What's Dubra? Is that a drink? What is that? Now I've got to look it up. Zaku, it is good to see you. What is, now I've got to, I'll look that up as we're sitting here for a second. Oops. Actually not put in an equal sign apparently in the middle of the word. A brand of vodka distributed by the United States. Oh, jeez. Oh, not by me. I don't think any, was someone else?
I don't know.
Who was mocking sardines? I love sardines. It's the lowest of low shelf vodka. We used to use it to clean the grill in the kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it looks like.
It's also a soccer player.
We have done many
Kasper's Dobra.
we have done many vodka reviews. We're not below it or above it or whatever.
Kasper's Dobra.
Approximately $11 for 1.75 liters.
Oh, well,
You would have to have a good
Well, you
re-
got the Trader Joe's vodka of the gods, $11 for 1.5 liters, I think. So
Vodka of the gods.
it's called vodka of the gods. Comes in a plastic jug.
Your Lord.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was actually looking it up thinking, I want my 2 favorite beverage reviewers to find something positive to say. That, okay,
Probably
so
not.
would that also be part of the redemption that you have to, like, we have to find one good thing to say about it? Like, this bottle is constructed very well.
That's right. I would use this to clean my, what was it? Grill. There we go.
Kitchen. What was the thing Kent used to always say? He was like, this cup is fantastic. Now what is in this cup is absolute garbage.
That is a great glass.
The ultimate college drink. Is it, what else is in it? Brand in the United States, low price, has made the brand popular for college fraternities and other youths, such as students at UConn. Oh, Of course, Yukon, Fairfield, University of Quinnipiac, and Yale University. And that
Wow.
is your area, Zaku. Of course it is. It's cheap and can double as lantern fuel if needed.
On those cold winter nights.
Those cold Connecticut nights.
That's all you need.
It's found in the New England state of Connecticut and the Mid-Atlantic states. Although the brand is manufactured and bottled in the United States, Dubber utilizes Dubber is distributed in a plastic bottle, which ensures the safety of the beverage during transport. Listen, I'm freezing my balls off in New England. What is the temperature where you're at right now, roughly? That is
59 degrees.
Oh, wait, they
Oh,
have
you're
it
not
in Total
asking me.
Wine? $6. $6 for Dubber vodka. This drink is of the highest quality, includes only the finest ingredients, carefully selected.
Oh, it's in
for
Milford, though.
Oh.
Shipped
20
to Arizona.
degrees? Damn. Grill cleaning should prevail for it. That sounds rough. We'll have to think of an even better million-point channel, something that is more worthy of your viewing, which I greatly appreciate. So yeah, we'll have to think of something at some point, for sure. We gotta make it worth it. All right, let's go grab the
Let's
bourbon,
do it.
and we'll go give
Finish
that.
strong.
We'll also go give that. Well, I'm not going to guarantee that we're finishing strong.
Well,
don't
we're
know-
going to finish.
We don't know what
strong.
that's going to taste
We're going
like.
to finish with high proof.
I like that.
There we go.
Be right back. Harris Heller, Stream Beats, Lo-Fi.
His beats, the stream.
Let's face
Wait.
it, he is the stream.
He is the stream.
I don't know if he's put out anything like super new lately, which I know is a lot of work. I'm not, if Harris Heller is watching
Oh, yeah.
this right now, I know
Oh,
that is
yeah.
a lot of work
Oh,
to put
no.
out new music with all of these different artists
All
and
of
things.
these songs.
But I'm just saying,
Even
more,
just coming up
more
with the titles,
synthwave.
I think.
See, so there are like every once in a while, like you think about dream jobs. Love to come up with titles for these songs.
Titles for the songs.
Titles for these songs. I would love to come up with some Destiny names, the video game that I love playing. Like I said, I would love to come up with like bounty names, weapon names, because they're all a lot of them have funny little subtext. I'm like, I could write this stuff.
Could do it.
You know, maybe not under pressure, but I think that I could. So I would love that opportunity at some point. So if either of those people are watching, I would love to take care of that. Because I love every once in a while there's like, you know, this Calling California,
Bamboo shampoo.
bamboo shampoo.
Sounds painful, actually.
Yeah. Galaxy, doing fine. Highway Nights.
Highway Nights.
That's right. Bob Seger is being ripped off by Harris Heller
Highway
right now as we
Hills.
speak.
So are we doing it this one different?
I don't know. What should we do? What do you feel like?
So like what? You'd have it poured and we'll just...
Oh, it feels weird doing it when
We
it's
can
not the
do it.
weird special thing. Like, I don't know. It feels strange.
We can, yeah, that's fine. We can just do what we normally do.
The
Don't even
only
have an
thing,
intro.
I,
We
the
can just
only
go
thing I
into it.
thought
Come on.
about is like maybe I miss you too, Zaku. I miss you too. So much final. There's only so much Final Fantasy 14. There's only so many hours in the day. The only thing I had thought about in the last one, and I almost started doing it, was like, as we've poured some of it, like, you know, and we're kind of talking, like we could start sniffing. Like, I don't know, should we just avoid the color? Like the color
What
seems, when we talk about color on some of these things, it always feels like weirdly forced to me. Maybe it doesn't to you. And it's because we're like, oh, what are you seeing in the color? It's like this.
I
weird,
would say...
I see golden. Like, unless we see
Unless
something
it's
that's
something different.
That's unless we like pour, like, whoa, I didn't expect that to be yellow.
Or if you're pouring, you would say, oh, that's a little lighter than what we've been seeing lately.
Maybe
something
you
like
just
that.
say that as I'm pouring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if
Oh,
we
wow.
can, maybe if we
A
can
little
make
more
some of
informal.
these things, if we can make some of these things blend together a little bit
Okay.
as other things are happening, that would,
Okay.
you know, tighten things up maybe a little bit.
All right.
Because as like I was pouring, like if you get to like, oh, the color, and like if you just like started and like, ooh, what are you
Oh,
getting?
wow, it's a little bit light. Yeah.
Yeah, or something. So maybe we do that, trying to mix it up here a little bit, change things around.
Ooh, it looks lighter in the glass than it did in the bottle or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this
All right.
looks lighter in the glass than it does in your mouth. Something of that nature.
Ooh, light. Okay.
Wait, what? No, we don't have a camera for that yet. Although I have that camera way up there, I don't have it turned on.
I see, and this is the new TV, right?
That is the
new monitor.
Yeah, the new monitor. Like I said,
Not
it doesn't
quite as dominating.
No, it's a little small, but it's actually like I love it. It is
That's all you
perfect.
need.
Like I said, that other one is.
We had a lot of,
unfortunately,
at least for our purposes, there was unused space.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and even here, it's still a fair amount of unused
Yeah.
space. But like I said, it is nice and it is functioning a lot better. So that has been pretty cool. All right, let's record the final
do it.
podcast of the evening. We will have some chit chat afterwards though too. But let's get this bad boy recorded. We're taking down a few things. This podcast will go up. This may be the podcast that goes up next week, just because we need to cleanse our palate from the one from last week.
Oh, to counteract the effects.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. We go from spirit less to more spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. We got any spirit? That is a very inside Arizona joke. Yeah. So I think we're ready to go.
We are.
We should just start with that. This is us clearing our throats. Like the podcast start very informal.
Clear my throat.
That would be great. Who will break first and say something? There's a really staring each other down.
So
it's a game of chicken going on right here.
After our last bourbon experience, we need something to kind of reset.
We actually need the alcohol back. Is
we
that
need
what you're
the alcohol
saying?
back. I think so.
Yeah. You know, Justin Timberlake, he brought sexy back.
We're bringing alcohol back.
Yeah. And so that's, we've got a bourbon for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Yellowstone bourbon from Limestone Distillery.
The Yellowstone Select.
Yellowstone Select. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know if there's another one. Just wanted to be specific
All right.
there.
This is the one that has been selected for us. It was actually a Christmas gift from Dad.
Oh, that is a good point.
So, I thought we should try this. I know Yellowstone is one of a show that they watch, actually.
Yeah,
I've never watched it. I do want to watch it sometime. I don't think this has any association with that necessarily, other than they share the name.
They do not. It does share association though with the national park.
Okay.
Which is the reason it was in 1872 when they actually started making this. They tied it back into that. They obviously they're like, hey, parks are cool.
Parks are cool.
And I would agree with them on that one. So they are furthering their part, and they donate a portion of the proceeds from all of these bottle sales go to the National Parks Conservation Association. So that is also a very, very cool thing. This is a blend of 4-year and 7-year aged bourbons. And like I said, as you said, is from a distillery that also, I think, makes a gin as well. We may need to look that up at some point.
Okay.
So that might be on a future podcast, but for right now, we just have the bourbon. I'm slightly envious of the deep sniff that you can take just because you can't smell.
Because I can't smell anything.
Because you can't smell near as much.
I'm hoping that it wakes me up. I'm hoping the sniff wakes me up before I go. But it's not happening.
Nice.
Yeah, even if it burns all the nose hairs off, I'm okay.
I know.
I'm willing to sacrifice that. Get that sniffer going again.
Do you still do your mint test every morning?
Not every morning, but I did do it today. Yeah. Yeah, sir. No, even actually, I made some coffee the other morning. That's able to get that a little bit more. I actually started making French press.
Oh, nice.
I miss the French press. I like the Chemex. It's nice, but the French press is just...
It's so funny.
Delicious.
So I was seeing something the other day by a roastery that we have tried here on the podcast at some point. And it was interesting to see them literally almost besmirching French press for the Chemex. They were like, I can't even drink. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both good. Like, I don't think it's one of those things. Like, I think coffee is like almost maybe the tippity top of where people get a little too snobby with it. Right. And we were in the industry for decades, multiple decades, over a decade. Yeah. Like, we were and we still love coffee. And I think people just get way too hung up on, and I know this happens with whiskey and bourbon too. Like, people get way too hung up on like, this is the only way to drink it. It's like, you need to drink it the way you like it. And that's why you can tweak things.
That's
but
right.
Here's a good set of science and chemistry. And then from there, you can tweak it left to right. If like, well, I like it a little lighter than that, and just know that you're adjusting based on kind of perfection. Right. Do you all like age when it comes to bourbon variety? Are you saying like, do we like things that are aged a little longer? Overall, usually I like something that's been aged a little more. Younger whiskeys tend to be a little hotter, tend to just not be quite as
depth. None of the depth.
Yeah, the depth isn't going to be there. The flavor is just going to be a little more kind of spiky, at least to me. I definitely have had some that go outside of that bottle. Like, wow, this is surprising. Wow, this is only 2 or 3 years age. That's surprising. But for the most part, yeah, usually I want to get into that six year and up kind of range for bourbons. But again, that's just very light. Like if someone have said something's good, I'll try it. Like I said, if you've got recommendations or like I said, anytime, like I said, I'm always, we are always up to look if we can find it. We're look to try anything. Yeah, I do love my bourbon and my whiskeys and my scotch and kind of stuff. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't have much, but I'm ready.
Okay. So 93 proof.
Okay.
Surprised, like I said, we did have this bottle open for a little bit. That's kind of one of the things we like doing now, no matter the proof. Just at least have the bottle open for a little bit, just to kind of get some air kind of going in there. Does seem to help out a lot, especially if it's a higher proof thing, I feel. But I'm getting there's a little bit of heat going on, surprisingly. And then I'm actually getting a little bit of fruit. There's a little bit of like a light kind of natural cherry, almost like a, it is a cherry, but it's more like some sort of like a maraschino cherry kind of thing. Like it's because it's a little sweet along with that, and it's not over the top. And then there's just some nice, like leatherish kind of like, just kind of those kind of notes coming through, a little wood, but like nothing over the top standing out though. But it's a nice aroma, but it's not like overly complex. Are you getting? You'll go with that.
We're gonna go with that because all I got was a little maybe sweet, and I thought like a little vanilla, which to me means oak.
Yeah, that's usually what I think too. Yeah, a little vanilla, a little brown sugar, like I said, with that's all slight, kind of cherry or something in there.
I did not get the cherry part.
Okay, that is in there, but it is not super strong either. It's not over the top. So, all right, taste it then.
Yep,
you taste it now. No, I didn't think so. I wanted to think about it a little bit more. I wanted to think. I wanted to truly. I'm wanting of more sweet.
Wanting of more sweet. Wanting a little. We saw there was another little sweet commercial on. I hadn't seen one of those. I like
that. I like that it wasn't specifically for. It had been for like diet stuff for a while. Like it was always like the diet cherry, Dr. Pepper, or whatever. Now it's little sweet.
Yeah, I had just been thinking. I haven't seen a little.
Little sweet commercial.
A sweet little commercial.
Do you want to put on record, because this is going to go up after it? Do you want to make all your picks for the weekend with the football? Yeah.
Well, I want 49ers to beat the Packers.
Yep.
I think the Rams are going to win.
I think they probably will. I'm hoping the Tampa Bay wins, even though I'm not a Tom Brady fan.
That Chiefs-Bills game should be fun.
That should be a great game. When is that?
And
game?
I don't really even know who's...
I think in theory, to me, the Bills should win that game. Lucky, I'm sorry if you're here right now, but like with even what I saw last week, the Bills should win that game.
Yeah, they were dominant, but So I'm picking the Chiefs, but would have a hard time picking against the Bills right now.
Right.
And also I think the Titans are.
Who are the Titans playing?
The Bengals. Especially if Derrick Henry
comes
back. If
Derrick Henry is back, Titans win that game.
I think so.
If he's
in
not,
Tennessee, Vrabel's had some time.
If he's not back, I could see the Bengals. Like it just depends on if they throw a lot to Jamar Chase. Like if they can have the Jamar Chase thing happen early, and if the Bengals can get up by like a couple touchdowns, which I know is a big ask, but if they can, then that also kind of takes them out of their game. And I don't think Ryan Tannehill is that amazing. At least Chicago doesn't have a bad head coach anymore. That's true, Chungus. Oh my God! As a longtime, obviously Bears fans, like I said, I'm a huge Bears fan here. Yeah, like I said, I for so long it was like, he was not the right person for that. He seems like he's probably like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad he's finally on. Steeler fan here. Yeah. Wait a minute. Did we hire Mike Tomlin? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, my God. I think that's what Chungus is telling us right now. I just typed it. No. Here it is. Who did they hire? They hired... Tomlin is away, but I think the Chicago Bears interview former Raiders. No, I don't want to hire GM. No. I have heard talk that they were talking to Harbaugh.
I've heard Harbaugh. I've heard that Brian Flores.
I hope not Brian Flores. I've heard some kind of scary things about him and his time in Miami and everything else. Dable, I would like. Obviously, the Bills' offensive coordinator.
Okay.
I would go for him. GM wise, I don't know things. He knows football. I'm sure he does. It's funny too, because I've heard people like be really excited like that and say we should, and obviously we should interview like any candidate because we need to find the right person.
Right.
I've heard, really good things about him from a football side, but then when you switch over to some of the things that happened in Miami, like I hear of just from what I have read and seen reporters talk about.
Oh, Jim Caldwell's mentioned a lot too.
I've heard Caldwell mentioned a lot. I've heard Doug Peterson mentioned a lot, which I always want to say Pedersen, but I say Peterson because that's what everyone else says.
Pedersen.
Yeah, I've heard him mentioned. Yeah, I mean, it's like we're hitting everybody. Like we're kind of asking everybody GM wise, which is good because no one else has hired anybody yet. So that's the thing. As soon as someone hires somebody or hires then all of a sudden you're just going to see everyone start to scramble. So hopefully we get enough time that he didn't. He didn't get a fair shot. I agree. Jim Caldwell did not get a fair shot in Detroit. Like I said, you took the Detroit Lions at least to one playoff, and you were like, what?
I think he was 9-7 when he got fired.
Yeah. And with the Detroit, and then after that, they literally went into the trash. So he was obviously good enough for what they had.
Right.
I think he's honestly probably a pretty good coach too.
Right.
So I think he's someone that is also worth being in the mix. But and I've heard Dan Quinn mentioned. I am like not excited about Dan Quinn.
A lot of people are talking about him.
I would not.
I haven't
like
heard
Dan
him mentioned
Quinn.
with the Bears though.
I think he's supposed to have an interview at some point. How did Kingsbury get the nod in Arizona? I can't believe that he couldn't come up with anything better for their game plan if he's supposed to be the offense that he had, what he did. I think you guys could do worse than Caldwell. Oh, I mean, the Chicago Bears can always find a way to do worse than Caldwell. They 100% can do that job. I hope not. I'm assuming Kingsbury is still back though, right? Isn't he? He's got to be.
As far as I know.
I mean, they were doing very well, and it's like, yeah, what's the offense? The red something off? What were they calling it? Because he was the Texas Tech, the
Red Raiders.
That's the air raid offense. That's what he was. He was called the air raid offense. Yeah, no, I think they could do a lot worse than that. That's kind of how I feel, like I said, about Quinn with Atlanta. That's totally my personal opinion. I don't know anything about him, what kind of coach he is, all that kind of stuff. I just, I know he got to a Super Bowl, so people are excited about that, but he did not win that Super Bowl. And then after that, they literally just went in the tank. Like, I don't know. Like, I want something else. And Dallas defense was not great. Yeah, I agree. Like, they were good enough, but it was because their offense was like ranked in the top 5 in the league. So that helps you out quite a bit. But anyway. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Seems very smooth.
I was going to say this. That was actually going to be my first thing that I was going to say.
It has. I think I get a little bit of that fruit you were talking about.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in there. I get some caramel
and there's
as well.
Some good heat, and yeah, I get a little bit of that. I like I said, I can taste a little more than I can smell. A little bit. I actually like that.
It's good. It's very smooth. It's a little thin, I think, to me. Okay. But yeah, there's a little bit of fruit. There's a little bit of caramel that comes through, which is nice. I think the heat is perfect for that proof. And yeah, I think it is also very smooth. Like, it goes down very smooth. It's got a little bit of spice here and there. But yeah, it's good. I don't think it's anything over the top. But yeah, it is a solid bourbon for sure. Like I said, I don't know.
So at that price point, it fit in.
So that's what I was about to start. So the price on this is right around $41.
Right.
Like I said, if you find it at Total Wine, I don't know if they have it cheaper or more expensive anywhere else. But anyway, right around $40. I'm trying to think of some other bourbons that kind of hit in that same spot that I would go with.
Basil Hayden.
I think Basil Hayden's a little too sweet, and it's also a little thin. Okay. It's a little cheaper as well. So I'm not a huge fan of the Basil Hayden as much, but that's just a personal. I do like in Basil Hayden though. I like the mint kind of note that comes out in there. Okay. That one's kind of different. It's gotten a little more expensive. I might like the Piggyback from Whistle Pig a little bit more. That one's usually around 45 to 50. So I know that's upping the price point a little bit. But I like that one because that one has a little tobacco note kind of in it. It's got a little bit more just a little bit more character, but also on the thinner side.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think it's I think it's priced appropriately. Like I think it's good.
Yeah, I like it.
It's kind of that borderline, also good in a mixer territory.
Right.
It's got a little bit of complexity to it,
Right.
not over the top. But honestly, you think about Elijah Craig being like $30 for the batch, small batch Elijah Craig, and that's like 93 proof, and that one is also really good. I probably would lean a little bit maybe toward that one, just because
Woodford is 30. We sell it for 33.
I have not had regular Woodford Reserve in a long time, to be honest with you. I'm a huge fan of the double oaked, but that's in the 45 to 50 territory. But that is kind of like another layer. Like some people don't like that one. That is definitely a to taste thing. The double oaked is a little bit more sweet. It's got a little more definitely oak character in there, hence double oaked. That one hits out a lot more. But no, I think this one is really good, and I think it's worth a shot to anybody that has not experienced this one, because I don't think it's too pricey. But yeah, I like it. Are you happy with it for the most part?
I am, yeah. I'm definitely happy with that.
And you're happy with the price you paid for it as well.
I am very happy with that price. Can't beat the price.
And also the price that you can't beat is our website, because it is also
free. Absolutely.
AboutBeverages.com. That's where you can go and find all of the podcasts that we have done over the last more than a decade.
Much more.
Way more. Almost a decade and a half in a year or two or something like that.
Soon we'll be entering into our 15th year.
That's true, which is absolutely insane to me. But yeah, like I said, you can go check out everything there. If you only want the latest videos, you can head over to YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate the subscribe there. As of this recording, we are getting close to 600 subscribers. We'd like to push it to the 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. That would be a really cool goal. So if you want to help us out with that, if you like this review in any form, hit the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's a
Literally
good deal.
Zero. And if you
like
only
that
want
deal.
Yeah, that is a good deal. And if you only want audio, Google Podcast, Spotify, iTunes, any one of those things are a great place you can search for our audio stuff. Or if you have an audio podcast format that you love, a website that you love going to that has audio podcasts, just search for About Beverages. You will probably find us there.
And that's it.
That's it. No,
wait.
That's not it. You've got something you need to talk about.
That's right.
Well, I have some more of this Yellowstone Select.
Enjoy that. The 3 pillars of social media being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is the one we use most frequently to let you know what's going on here at About Beverages. Like earlier, before we recorded this podcast, when I was let everybody know we were going to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings. Depending on your time zone, it can range anywhere from 4:30 to 7:30, at least currently.
Yeah.
And like I said, we get together, we hang out, we try a few drinks, talk with our listeners and subscribers and people who join and jump into the chat. Boy, I just rambled. I'm going to have to start that again.
No, you're good.
I just rambled. I'm just going to start again.
You did.
I just really rambled that.
You're going to start with the pillars then?
I'll just which we do most. Is that good enough, or do I have to go all the way back? I can go all the way back. That's fine.
Yeah, start with the pillars. I can just keep with the pillars. Let's make this easy on me.
Okay, well, I want to make it easy.
Okay.
The three pillars of social media being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which we use most frequently to let you know what's going on here at About Beverages. Like earlier today when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings, depending on your particular time zone. Could range anywhere from 4:30 to 7:30. We get together, we hang out, we try some beverages, and talk about all kinds of things. Andrew will also let you know what he's doing throughout the week in the gaming world and what he's going to be drinking while he is doing that. So for all the latest on About Beverages, follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.
And that is a podcast.
Yeah, also, I just felt I was rambling way too much. I was like, sometimes I hear it in my head and I can pull it back. But that time I'm like, no, let's just start this over again. So hopefully that worked out all right.
A real human being. So good to see you. I'm glad you came in here. Dang, 15 years. I was in the 5th grade.
5th grade.
Oh my God. Well, 5th grade though, what do you be?
25?
So you'd be
24, 25, somewhere in there. Yeah, 5th grade.
But if you're in the 5th grade, you would be 10. So 25. There we go.
Okay.
Chicago is one good wide receiver away from making noise in that division, though. Look at the Cincinnati model from this year. I mean, so that's the thing. Like, I think, so if I'm looking...
but Joe Burrow played better last year.
He did.
Before he got hurt than
They probably had a
Fields
better
was a
offensive
little
coordinator
bit,
too.
Yeah, no, I know, and he was kind of thrown into.
He was
He got
thrown
hurt a lot too.
He was thrown into some very bad games. Like you also like I don't know. We won't get into all the ins and outs of what I've read about the Nagy and like kind of what he did to almost undermine some of that stuff. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just because he had this plan and just everything. Yeah, it's kind of nuts, some of the stuff. But yeah, no, I think we've got a really good running back situation. We need, as everyone usually needs, as solid of an offensive line as possible.
Right.
I think our defense is in a good spot. If Mac, like I said, if we don't trade Mac away, Robert Quinn is still absolutely amazing. Like I said, with what he did this year, basically with Mac out many games. Like I said, obviously he's a great pass rusher. I think our interior defense is really good. So if we can keep a lot of that intact, we just need a wide receiver would be great, an offensive line. It'd be if I see those things along with the offensive coordinator that's going to work. Yeah. Defense isn't even, defense really does not need much of anything. Like I said, and we've only got 4 or 5 draft picks because we have a second. I think we have a second, a fourth, 2 fifths, and a sixth, something like that. I can't remember. Your team needs O-line
up on his football.
Yeah. Team needs O-line and quarterback. Yeah, you do definitely need some O-line. I mean, your defense is still solid. I mean, jeez, Watt is just absolutely insane. Like that guy is an absolute beast on the D line. What are you guys doing at quarterback in
Trading for Russell Wilson?
Is that really something?
No, I don't. I mean, you never know.
Have you heard anything? Like, who is your
or Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, if he wants to leave Green Bay, that's fine.
Oh,
said competition between Rudolph and Haskins and draft a quarterback. That sounds about right.
Well, it's funny. They were just talking about this on Dan Patrick this morning, and they were like, well, you're not going to do Haskins, you're not going to do Rudolph. But then they were saying, one of the guys was saying that like a lot of the major draft reviews have the quarterbacks going like after pick number. I think Pittsburgh picks at 20 or something somewhere like that. So there might be one of those
because they were in the playoffs, so
fall into that. Yeah. So
sounds like the modern team is following the Cam Newton's template. I mean, so yes and no. Like they're looking, they're looking for quarterbacks that can. You want a quarterback that has some mobility, but then at the same time, the biggest problem is you just don't want those quarterbacks that they're just not a good passer as well. So I hopefully, Fields turns into what we think he could be. So that'll be the interesting thing. At least you guys have a first round pick. I mean, the Steelers have a first round pick. Yeah, we don't have a first round pick, unfortunately. We got to pay Minka. Oh, you have to pay Minka Fitzpatrick?
Is human beings a Colts fan? That way. Damn Wentz.
Oh, that could be. Oh my God, yeah, human beings. Sadly,
I was really surprised the way the Colts fell off the last few games.
The way they lost to the Jaguars, like literally you win and you're in and you lose to the Jaguars, like that is a very Chicago Bears move right there, which is kind of scary.
I actually bet on the Colts to beat the Cardinals. That was one of the free bets I got, and I won that bet.
Nice.
It may have been the last game they won. So
Cardiac Colts. I was not surprised. Oh my God, Jaguars played a great game. I mean, they had a great defensive game, which was obviously put them over the top, that one. But that is very frustrating. Is like I said, I understand that from a fan perspective when you think you should just win and get in.
You're looking for somebody to.
Yeah, we're kind of putzing around. So we are. We've already got pretty much next week set up. We're going to do
we got some
sort
Zinfandel.
of Old Vine Zinfandel kind of little thing. We'll do 3 bottles. We're going to do 3 bottles. I'll pay for
I don't know if they'll sell those Old Vine though. It might just be Zinfandel. Not sure.
Well, does that hurt anything, or do you just want to?
I don't think it hurts.
Zinfandel and we got double Old Vine. And what's the difference?
Well,
what is really the difference?
The Old Vines have been producing for a while.
So they're probably not as good because they're aged. They don't have the their branches
More
are breaking. Their branches
flavors.
are breaking. They're tired.
That's right. They're not broken branch ends.
They're weary. Okay.
BBZs.
The BBZs.
The broken branch ends.
We haven't won in Jacksonville. That was what I was surprised at. I saw that stat when that first happened that that they hadn't won in Jacksonville in like the last 5 meetings or something insane. And I was just like, what's that possible? It was one of those ones. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Bears do for general manager and for head coach. Like, I know people have been, I think Dable will be interesting. Like I said, if we can actually get a hold of him, I don't know if Harbaugh would have the same magic that he would normally, but obviously that'd be a fan favorite and kind of hometown favorite if he would come back and sign a contract. And then if, they keep talking, since Fangio's out there as well, you could bring Fangio back to a defense that he did a lot of wonderful things with. And you also have Harbaugh, if he can, he did a lot of good things with Colin Kaepernick. Hopefully Fields is better than Colin Kaepernick. Not that Colin Kaepernick didn't get a raw deal and shouldn't be in the NFL, but he also, I don't think he had a lot.
Good years.
So from someone that I have, my best friend is literally a huge 49ers fan. When you talk to him, it's just basically Kaepernick just had no touch on his throws. And that's what I always thought too, was every throw was not, it was either like he would run or he literally had a bullet.
Yeah.
And so if you were 100 yards downfield, great. If you were from 5 yards, you were getting like a $100 fastball right there. Yeah. Your hands were breaking pretty much. So yeah, that was always kind of the thing with that. But yeah, that is the tale there. All right. So we'll be doing some wines next weekend, the usual time. Do you have anything? Is it Wednesday next week?
No, I don't think so. I know.
What do we have to do? The Wednesday was the magic, apparently.
The unicorn. The Wednesday unicorn.
It was the rare Wednesday unicorn. Do I have this on? Oh, I didn't. Oh, that was close. All right. So we're going to call it for this evening. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for
everybody.
hanging out. We are going to drop a raid right now. We're going to go say hi to Jackie Blue, who's playing some Mass Effect Part 2.
Jackie Blue.
Which is
and the Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Name of the group.
Is that literally the name of the group? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I know that song, but I did not know that. But she is playing some Mass Effect, one of my favorite games of all time. Looks like Mass Effect Part 2 specifically. But yeah, we're going to go say hi to her. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it. A lot of fun.
That's true. I would agree with that. I would agree with what you said. And we will see you again next week. I will be on again tomorrow morning. Play some Hades.